So this is CFD. Now CFD is it's to use, but it's a very handy thing, and some software we have nowadays actually makes it really easy to run CFD on some pretty complex designs like your F1 in schools designs. And what it is it's a way of calculating the pressure, the density, and the velocity at all little discrete points in the air to tell you about the aerodynamic performance characteristics of the component that you're trying to simulate. Okay, so forces like lift and drag, you can talk about your different pressures, you can talk about the turbulence in the air or how chaotic it is. So it's a very handy and a very cool tool to be able to use. And I'm going to take you through AIM, which is the software that will allow us to use it today. So essentially, it breaks up the domain, what you consider to be a fluid domain, which I'll show you in a minute, into these little boxes. Okay, it does that by putting lots of little points in the air in your geometry. And if we go back here to the last slide, we can see every single one of those arrows is a point in space that's been designated by the software as a calculation point. So each one of those points, it tells it something about the pressure, the velocity, the density, and they check it all against each other, okay? So it solves these equations, it checks it against all of the other points, and when it comes to a common solution for all the different points, we know we have a converged solution and a reliable result. So each one of those points creates a volume, and we know that mass in has to equal mass out by the conservation of mass, and that's how essentially the CFD solver is working. These are the equations. Now there's a lot of complexity here, don't get caught up in these. It's not necessary to know them, but it is just letting you know that there's some complex mass that's going on in behind here that's telling you about the properties within the air, and it's solving these equations at each one of those points. So this is the modeling process. It's a very important process. I think personally the most important one of these processes is the problem identification. If you can clearly define the problem, if you can clearly understand what it is that you're looking for about your car, I want to decrease drag, I want to increase downforce, or I want to increase stability. That is 50% of the way towards the rest of the problem. Once you've done that, the rest is just a process. You've got to come up with a way of analyzing that performance, and then we go into our pre-processing, our solving, our post-processing, our reviewing the results, and then you can update the model based on those results. And as you guys are all very well aware, especially by now, that your goal identification is contingent on all these factors, right? Everything that you can have a grand design in your mind and want to create the coolest thing, but you're constrained by your time, you're constrained by how much you know, you're constrained by the rules, and you're constrained by how much you can manufacture. So goal identification and problem identification are all focused around these kinds of parameters that you have to very well understand before you can go forward and make a very good design. Now essentially these are the kinds of things we can do with a geometry in CFD. So once we've identified what it is that we want to understand, okay, if we want to understand the full performance of the vehicle in a straight line, we can essentially cut it in half, okay? Because as we know, we talked about just before, that we've making the fluid domain into lots of little points, okay? So if we cut out half of those points, it's half the calculations the computer has to run, and it can run faster. So if we're looking at a straight line, the full car, we can just cut it in half. If we only wanted to understand the front wing and we wanted to understand it really well, we might use a quarter car model, and that's cutting down our computation time again. Now, if we wanted to go into some yaw simulations, or some simulations, well, the car isn't necessarily in a straight line, we have to use the full car, and that's much more computationally expensive, but it's necessary, especially if you wanted to do an analysis of the car's stability. Now, the pre-processing, this is a pretty critical part to CFD. Is what I found to be one of the most difficult things and that's kind of preparing your geometry. Now, Space Claim's really good. It has some handy functions in the repair and the prepare tabs that allow you to kind of fix these problems in an intuitive way, but it can still be quite a difficult thing. So your pre-processing of your geometry is one of the most critical things. And what the reason for that is once again, with all those little calculation points, the computer has to know exactly where to put those points. So if you have a geometry that's not quite very well resolved, the computer can't understand exactly where to put those points in it, and it'll either fail because it doesn't know where, or it'll create elements, or those control volumes, it'll create them in very funny shapes that the computer can't understand. So making a nice clean geometry, which I'll take you through in a minute, making a geometry nice and clean is very important. This is the fluid domain that we would create. Space Claim allows you to just use the enclosure feature, and what it does is it cuts your vehicle out of a solid mass. So it's the solid mass external to the vehicle that we are focused on, because that's where the air is. I'll take you through how to do that in just a moment. This is a pressure contour. So once you've finished running your simulation and you have your results, you can look at different things like pressure. You can look at velocity, magnitude. You can look at velocity in X, Y, or Z specifically, vectors, turbulence. So many different things that will help you to understand why the vehicle performance is how it is, and what you could do, what changes you could possibly make to make it better. This one here is a velocity contour. So this will tell us where the velocity is higher. If you look on the front, so that's a front wing and that's a wheel. So if you look at the front wing underneath, where it's really close to the ground, we're getting really high velocities. So that's a good thing for a Formula SAE car, because it's going to create a low pressure there, and you're going to get the downforce effect, which is pushing you down the ground, helps you turn a corner faster. Not necessarily needed for a F1 in schools car, because not only do you not really need downforce, but downforce creates drag. So essentially low drag is what you guys are after, as long as it's stable. The dark blue regions show where the velocity is low, right? So behind the wheel, as we expect, there's some dark blue regions which tell us that flow's separated. And remember, what we talked about before, where flow separating is creating drag. Any flow that's separating is creating drag. So there's not too much on that one, but it's always something that you want to decrease and minimize. So that's the end of that presentation on just basic aerodynamics and CFD. Do you guys have any questions?